I know words. I have the best words. There's no better word than stupid. Right? Well, Donald Trump says it all sometimes, and he said it now. That was December 30th, 2015. He's right. There's no better word than stupid, and stupid surely describes him quite well. That little riff was the opening line in John Lithgow's book, which you're looking at right now, and you're on my this column over here. And it's Dumpty is the book, and it's a book of satirical poems about Donald Trump and everybody in his administration at the time that Lithgow wrote the book. So half of the people aren't there anymore, and they've been replaced by other people. I'm just going to read the opening the first and the third stanzas from a three-stanza poem called Trumpty Dumpty wanted a wall to stir up a rabid political brawl. His Republican rivals, both feckless and stodgy, succumbed in the end to his rank demagogy. Trumpty Dumpty kept insisting. More and more citizens started resisting. Sadly, there won't be an end to this tale, at least until reasonable people prevail. At least until reasonable people prevail will we have an end to this tale. And that's pretty much about where we're at right now. And reasonable people are starting to get the message a little bit. The debate happened the other night, and as I'm sure everybody here knows by now. And this was the headline that was in the local paper, which was sort of typical of most of the headlines around the country. The interruptions set the tone for a chaotic debate. And the takeaway for me from the debate were the Wall Street Journal said it. The Wall Street Journal said that the debate was basically defined by five words. Will you shut up, man? Oh, Wall Street Journal. Will you shut up, man? That defined the debate for the Wall Street Journal. Not exactly a bastion of progressive or liberal thought here. The other couple of takeaways, the fact that everything he said so far is simply a lie. I thought that was a pretty powerful statement. Everybody knows he's a liar. He was just discounting everything that was coming out of his mouth, and he stood there rather presidentially, I thought. And other than it's hard to get a word in with this clown, which I really liked, and a few people I've spoken to. So basically, he's telling the clown to shut up, man. And that's about, I think we all feel that way at this point about him. Cory Booker was on television after the debate, and he's sort of reiterating the fact that we are in very, very, very dangerous times, and that we need to really get organized and get out there and protect the democracy. What we have of a democracy. Now, if this was 2 years ago, I could go on and on about how our democracy is in shambles, and in fact it is in shambles, evidenced by the fact that Donald Trump has embraced this whole thing and taken it over, and look what he's done to it. Rachel Maddow, right after the debate, said that the debate was good for him. So most reasonable people are looking at it going, oh my God, what'd he do? Oh, it's crazy, sounds crazy. Yeah, he may sound crazy to most people, but most people aren't the people that are voting for him. A small cadre of people are voting for him. Hillary, I think, called him a basket of deplorables. I don't think that was strong enough. Most of these people, they watch Fox News all day, and that's a whole other story. They're getting more misinformation than anybody. The reason she's saying it's good for him, because he looked corrupt. They like corruption. They like corruption. And whether it's the poorer people at the lower end of the socioeconomic scale or the wealthier people at the higher end of the socioeconomic scale, both groups, they're in love. This group here is in love with the gangster image of America, and these people are the gangsters of America. And the corruption that he's showing you, he's just showing you who he is and what he's doing, and he's working in this manner for these small groups of people. The democracy itself obviously doesn't work. If we haven't thrown this guy out of office by now, our democracy is not working. With the information we have about his complicity with the Russians, his treasonous behavior, if we haven't done anything about this at this point in time, our democracy is in serious trouble, which it is. Rules rules are for suckers. And he has said this repeatedly. He certainly doesn't follow any. He makes up his own rules as he goes along. So he's corrupt. The democracy doesn't work. Rules are for suckers. The whole thing is corrupt. The whole thing is corrupt. No normal person likes this. But these aren't normal people that are his base. They are his base. We're 5 minutes in. I'm going to mention one other little, we'll get rid of the newspaper here, and let's bring up the, well, we have the other book. I was going to have a copy here. Yeah, there it is. We got a copy of On Tyranny, and this is Timothy Snyder's book. And Tim Snyder has been on television quite a few times and on and off over the years. It's a tiny little book, real small, little small book. I buy a lot of small books. They fit into my back pocket, so if I'm on a line someplace, I can take a book out and read it and not get stuck on the internet. There's 20 lessons in here for the 20th century, and in politics, being deceived is no excuse. In politics, being deceived is no excuse. There's two of them I'm going to just bring up right now. Number 6, be wary of paramilitaries. And the Proud Boys are a paramilitary group that Trump is calling up. Be wary of paramilitaries. And the other interesting one I liked was number 12, make eye contact and small talk. I think this is what Joe Biden did the other night. When he, in response to Trump on a couple of occasions, rather than responding back to Trump or looking at him, he didn't bother. He just ignored him. And he looked directly into the camera and he spoke to the American people. I thought it was very powerful. I thought it was very powerful. He was making eye contact with you and me. Tim Snyder, Humpty Dumpty, lots of interesting books out there. Newspapers, magazines, but the big thing is, look at what you can do. Look at what you think is the response. What is the appropriate response? How are you and I going to get engaged to make sure that we come out of this thing in one piece? Peace, patience, persistence, and we'll see you soon.